Whew. Melvin and the Blue, Harold Melvin and the Blue Note. That will never go out, right? That's some real soul music, family. Real soul music. Real music, it teaches something, it tells something, it has a message, right? It has a great message. So, with that said, let's look into a lesson in what's constructive and what's considered constructive and what's considered destructive behavior, and how, in our community, how we've fallen into this matrix of this. We think this is our reality when the author of confusion has evidently sold us a book of goods. And not only that, but the architect of the matrix built this alternate illusion around us. So we were already placed into a trap. Now they're feeding off of our cartilage and bones. They're still feeding off our bones and cartilage. So we have to examine why this is, how this is, and understand that, it's to our detriment. And being that it's to our detriment, it is us who cause our own demise at this point. At this point, we know definitely, and I'm going to go through how we're causing our own demise in this situation. We're sitting in it like a crab, like a boiling water, hot steam water full of crabs in a bucket, not a frying pan, but a pot. Instead of jumping out for safety, we stay in like a crab, like crabs, because we make up all these excuses, and um, we're stuck on what we've been fed. We're dependent on the food that is not real food. I'm going to call it GMO because you know how I feel about religion. It is GMO to me. So we stuck on that food. But the two things here, the two areas that are non-constructive is politics, and I'm going to go over why I think politics is non-constructive, because for us as a people, and religion, because I've already explained in the beginning, that should have wiped out everything. That's when I said it's a matrix of the architect formed around us with a book of goods. The book of goods is hope. But is it real hope? It was false hope. That's what you have to give to children. You have to give them some kind of hope. But in giving the children hope, they gave them a false sense of hope of what life would be in the future for them. And we have to think about that. Where did it start? Where did that start? Where did our destruction start? I say our destruction started with definitely with a lot of manipulation. But it started the first day we were given and taught about a God, or the first time. I say the destruction, I would even go too far as say when our people were stolen or kidnapped from their daily life, wherever that was, their ways of being, their ways of existing, That's when the destruction started, because you can't do, when you do wrong or do badness to people, you not only do bad to those people, but you do bad to the world. You do bad to the reality. You already caused a cosmic storm the day you decided to do something that was definitely forbidden amongst humans, amongst people, amongst the beings, amongst existence. And that's to capture someone else for your own selfish needs. You had no spirituality, no connection to anything higher when you decided in your mind. There was no God, there was no anything existing at the time when you decided in your mind. Only you and those particular actions, which was a destructive action that caused a um, a whole collision, let's just say that, of things. It set off a whole collision of things. When you first decided to kidnap a people from their ways of living and thought to yourself in your mind that their living was not conducive, it's control. Because the way somebody else was being, existing, was envied. So you needed to take them for your own selfish needs. So you can have hot, cold, ice water, so you can have your beds made up, so you can have your children taken care of, because the women did not want to be taking care of the children. They felt like they had important matters as well. So politics keeps us in the system by having us still fighting. And it all started from, after all of that kidnapping, division, separation, rape, colorism, because you see one person, because only the devil will treat somebody better than the other person. Only a wicked person would do such thing and cause this collegiate trauma, a drama all through the veins of the people to show up in many different facets. So now you see good in the people that gave you the book. You see good in the people. You were made to see good in the people that gave you the book. All through the 60s, well, early 60s, late 50s, you never once saw Black model females on TV. You mostly saw um, white hair products and vanity. So that's a form of programming. It was always programming with the one-eyed devil. It was always some sort of programming with the one-eyed devil. And having you see them as more important than you. And not understanding magic, because that was wiped from our education, understanding spells, understanding uh, what is real evil. We were divided from those who could see what was going on, what was how they were getting programmed to have self-hate, to love the people and reverence the people more that were doing the most evil over their own people. So we were divided. That's division. You had those who fought, and you had those who wanted to stay. And the book put a seal on the way those who wanted to stay were going to have to uh, to exist with moralism. But moralism wasn't the thing. Moralism wasn't the thing. It was how you would see white God and white Jesus. It's how you would see white God and white Jesus. For one thing, in politics, when we look at politics, we spend most of our time asking for better treatment. While living in the system of white quote unquote supremacy, we spend majority of our time with law. We're trying to get laws on the books. So we waste our time. It's not constructive. It's destructive. It's been destructive for a long, long time because we keep in a cycle that just doesn't work. But insanity is doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result. And we live in insanity when it comes to politics and religion. If you see, they say how a person treats you the first time, you should know that's how they're going to be. That's how they are. And that is true. That is so, so true. You have the choice to engage and continue to engage. That's your choice. And it hasn't been constructive to engage, to continue to engage in a relationship that never was a healthy relationship from the foundation of it. So in politics, we find ourselves beating the wall, the brick wall, beating the brick wall with our hands until it's bloody. We must think the crucifixion is that sacrifice. You see how mental program the Bible makes you when they lie in it and tell you that it means something that it doesn't mean? When all you see is surface stuff, you know, and sacrifice, and you think because that white man, he has that big house, he has that big truck, he must know divinity, he must know the way to that for you. So on the surface, you want that. Same with this woman. You want the women. On the surface, you want the women, but you don't know the action that it takes to get to that. You think superficially. You think that it's the money, it's the cars, it's the power the white man has. No, you gave the white man the money, the car, the power. You gave him all of that. He needs to keep suckering us into politics, religion. He needs to keep us preoccupied to never know our own divinity is within us naturally. If we only will go to that versus what we see every day on a day-to-day basis. These two eyes will fool us every time. The eye will tell us the truth. That's here. That's the truth here in our hearts and our minds and our souls. But all falsehood is on the surface. It's always going to be on the surface. It's not going to be a deep thing for you. But we don't understand that we keep in this trap of politics, looking for someone to treat you better when you need to be the one to treat you better. They're treating themselves better. They're treating themselves better while we are engaging in trying to figure out why, what we need to educate them. Do we need to have our education that we need for ourselves instead of, going off, veering off? It's, not seeing that it's critical and it's important. It's critical and it's important, and it's only right. That's how your equity, your your equality is going to come when you start being equal to yourself. Equality is not going to come from a people who seek and destroy us. It's not going to come like that. They're not going to give you your equality. Don't expect them to give you your equality. We are responsible to give ourselves equality. We're trying to make these people's laws and their system when we only built their system and fed it and keep giving it healthy nourishment every day, you know, while we're destroyed because we choose destructive behavior. And they know that we choose destructive behavior. It's not easy. It's not hard to war against us. It's not a hard thing to war against us at all. It's not hard to war against us because our men are worried about fake hair, no eyebrows, who's pretty, who's not, surface stuff. Just all, I should just say, all surface stuff, and not thinking logic about why the women in the community might be distrusting, hardened, disloyal, frustrated, complicated, complicated. Not understanding the complications that have arose within the occasion that have been put there. Okay, so we think we keep feeling like we're going to change something by engaging in the politics. We still think that somehow God, Daddy, Jesus, and God are somehow, you know, the thing about that is, the thing about God is people think that he's up there, he gave you a book, he inspired men, who raped, pillaged, and killed people somehow. And I can't see for the life of me, not everybody got the light on, it is what it is, you know, it is what it is. Not everybody got lights on to see the traps that we've been placed in, or to see that if you have a thing that started out bloodshedding, going around blessing, bloodshedding, you with Christianity, the, the Christian crusades, forcing people into their ways. We know the European story. We know it all too well. But it's weird how you continue to want to follow in a destructive manner, destructive behavior, instead of recognizing what is holding you up. What is holding you up? Now, I think the money and the power is what got our people. That's going to be hard to really beat. Majority of them, just like in slavery, it was to the detriment that they fight and release themselves from that. And they did good. But then when they went to build, and mind you, they didn't build with spirituality. They built with the ways of the white man in them. So going to church. So and still, brainwashed with the God complex. I'm gonna call it the God complex. I'm gonna call it the God complex, okay? They call it the God complex because somebody is being like a God or trying to be like a God. But that's already there. Somebody's already being like a God for us as the people that have been kidnapped and taken and ruled over and controlled. Someone's already being that God. So I'm gonna um call it just what it is. It's a God complex. So we choose to deal with that as if it's going to change or make something better in our lives. And the whole thing with that is if it was going to change or make something better, that should have been that should have been done. That should have been done. So if you was going to receive the help should have been received. All these you got to think. I don't know what was the end. I don't know what our end goal was. I don't. I think that's the problem. What was the end goal? To sit here in poverty and to see kids murdered and to see police murder us with impunity. Was is this the life? What's the thing? Were we supposed to be lawyers, doctors? Um, what was the end game for our people? Did we have a plan to exit out of the system? You know, exit out of the system and have of our own, like all the other communities do. They have their own. You know, that's your right. That's our right. It's to have our own. To build our own eventually. You know, be lawyers, doctors, but be that for your own. You know, that's constructive. But let me tell you, while we might try to do those things, constructive, there's always going to be something destructive coming in the mix of that. Now, Tariq Nasheed, I follow him. I follow him, and I see him as I do see him definitely as an agent. He's definitely an agent and a person to coattail our people or to lead our people in a direction of back into slavery. He led them back into slavery. He already said he loves white skin. He loves pale white skin on women, the white women. So he loves, he already said those things on YouTube. And the funny thing is, he's a trap and a snare. Um, and I don't know if this is true. I mean, I donated some money to him one time, but I don't know if this is true that he built up $1 million from our people. I don't know because I never seen the money. I never seen the him doing that. I wasn't there. I wasn't watching him when he was doing that for building this thing. I would watch him off and on, but I didn't know. Uh, I didn't ever see his money thing on how high it went up. But he, from what I'm hearing or seeing, got donations and millions of dollars from our people. Or should I say, because people don't want to say, claim that they are who they are, which is just another um, example of their trauma and how separated they want to be. They want to be the ones to stay into slavery while the rest of us like to fight, you know. So they don't like to be connected either to the ones that want to do other things, the ones who want to get out. And I don't waste my energy. I don't hate white people. I don't hate any people. I hate annoyances. I hate things that annoy me and get in my way and stop me. I do hate those things, but I have to work on that. Things that stop my progression, things that make my day, my morning reckless. Ooh, I despise that. But I have no reason. Let me tell you, I don't like white people for what they've done and what they continue to do and what they continue to support and how they think and what they accept and their ways of being, existing, their standing, their character. But I don't hate people. I don't like those things. So I don't want those things around me. Bad energy, low energy vibes. So, and it's not constructive for me and my people to be in a destructive thing that started out the foundation nasty and bad with bloodshed, and they call it blessing, but bloodshed because it's ritualistic. It's ritualistic. It's what I call ritualistic because you have to have some kind of sacrifice. You got to have a sacrifice. But Tariq Nasheed got in the way of progress with the black people because he keeps coming up with stuff that's BS bullshit. I mean, our people, there's already been videos out there to tell you your true colors, how great you are. You didn't have to. I don't know. I think I love the people in the videos that he makes, and I watch them. I follow some of them, but the videos he makes don't excite me. I could watch. It's just not. They just don't do anything for me. I'm just gonna put it this way. Never have. Never have. If it's on the level of a surface level, it never will. It never will. Not for me. Not where I would put my money there anymore. Especially when he never did send me my video. When I sent him, I supported his true color, hidden color, one of his hidden color videos, and never received the video. So I don't deal with it anymore like that. But like I said, it is what it is, and we're going to continue down the road of destructive if we don't let go of trying to find a savior and looking for the he, and everything. Everything's he. God is he. Jesus is a he. Somehow, somehow God has human attributes. As a higher power, I wouldn't want my higher power to be nothing to deal with any male on this planet whatsoever. I want to feel it. I want to know that it's something greater than that, than what I'm existing in. And the best way to know these things and to feel these things is when you're dealing with emotions and you meditate or you sink into those emotions. You feel in that for the day. That's part of life. It's going through life, facing different things, shame, embarrassment, humility, guilt, feeling trapped, feeling lonely, feeling unaccepted, feeling just all those feelings that you feel, you because that's life experience. So you have to take that and you have to sit in all of those feelings that you feel, and that's when you know your truth. When you can know your truth, because it ain't gonna be a man from the sky. The romanticism of being saved by some God or some Jesus or something, some savior. It's only you. When it really comes down to it, it's only gonna be you. It's only gonna be you. Ain't gonna be no gigolo or no shyster or no what they call Tariq Nasheed, an agent provocateur, a grifter. That's all you're gonna get. That's all you're gonna get. You're gonna get people make promises, but what are you gonna do? You can be the politician. You can be the one to advocate for you for what you want. I know I'm trying to advocate for my people or those who want to be part of my people because I don't need everybody. That's when you cutting the wheat from the tares, the tares from the whole goodness of golden wheat, you know. So they can go and we can build. They can be destructive over there and see how that works. But like Bobby Hemmett said, even they are doing work for us. Even they are helping us in a way. Because they'll sit back and they'll be the ones to keep. They're doing their jobs. We're all here put for a reason. So don't ever, we should never discount our brothers and sisters because they want to stay on the plantation. But if Tariq did raise millions of dollars and he's married to a whole white woman, because when you have, but one thing that's gotten missing in the whole realm of things is that when you have a black, the hatred for a black woman and the love for the white woman by the black man. So he comes from a black woman, but in his experience, he chooses to hate or to just use his energy to hate, basically, or to despise or want to see her demise, you know. So basically, when the black man gets with the white woman, he doesn't know that his child is the white child. She's a white child. When a white man gets with a black woman, the child is a black child because the mama is black. She's the head. She's she's black. He comes from the black world. The child comes from the black world. Be it whether the child grows up and likes the black world or not, maybe he would want to go to the white world because the way in this realm, this world, they made everything the skin tone, the pale, skinless, colored people or translucent people look great. They look great, right? They got the big cars, the big houses, the money and the power and control, right? So that's what happens. That's what happens. You know, that's what happens. But you don't know. You don't know behind closed doors. You don't know what is transpiring, or what they're trying to do, and how they lumped us in as less fortunate. But you can be less fortunate all your life if that's your choice. We have choices in life. We can be like the fighters who don't want to stay on the plantation, or we can be like those who want to just stay and be comfortable and be the underdogs all their life. You know, you have it like that. That's how you have it. You got to push forward. You know, the ones who want to fight, you got to push forward and put things in place to be constructive, to build with your people. You know, when we see a problem and it touches you in your heart and you want to change it, you should want to change it. I mean, you should want better, and that's more constructive, you know, to want to even have that idea of wanting better, to move towards something, you know, to help out situations that you see that are going on with your people that is harming your people, you know. It's just, I better get my butt off here and let me get started here before I'm late and lose my whatchamacallit. Mm. So basically, let me see, family. Okay. Okay. So basically, I'm sorry to hold y'all up. But the thing about it is, we have to build. We have to want something um, where we're not wasting. Because now, I mean, nothing can stop us. Nothing can stop us. Nothing can stop you. Because you have to use, because we have things that we can use against them in these days and times. They can't do the same things that they used to do back then. Because when they try those things today, you got to recognize. You can't be afraid of them. You can't, like the feds. I could care less about them hearing what I have to say. Because what I'm saying is truth. And most feds probably blacking. You got all kinds of racist feds. You got all kinds of people. And they in the know. They're in the know. They're in the know of how this society is, you know, unless they're, and I don't think they're morons or, so, like I said, COINTELPRO is something that is a weapon that they use against us for building. Now, it's shameful, but a lot of our people have fallen the ways, into the ways of the beast, sexually wise, and like I said from the beginning, what got our people? What got our men? What got our men? Don't you know porn? When did porn start? Did it start in the 1940s, 1920s? Because I think they were doing silent porn. I have to look that up, but sex has always been a weapon for our people, and integrating with them for that sexual, to get that, to be able to get close to them, and then vice versa, for them to get close to us as a people. And voila, what do you have birth? You have all this sexual deviancy and all this crazy nonsense, that doesn't really give you any kind of solid uh, education into what life really is supposed to be. It's like because of all the people's trauma, all the trauma, you have birth sexual deviancy, and it's crazy. Um, Let me get this. Okay, so that's what I wanted to share was what's constructive behavior versus destructive behavior. The Tariq Nasheed, the people that want to lead you back into a place where you've given up your freedom, or you might be giving up your money to build up something that he has hidden back there. Who knows? You could be building up Miss Daisy. He has, his mother-in-law, Miss Daisy. You could be building her up. You could be helping her build a new plantation. Is what you guys could be doing. Who knows? You never know what you could be doing with that millions of dollars instead of building for yourself. At least, the followers of Tariq Nasheed, instead of giving him the money, you could have gathered up the money together as a whole and been motivated to do that and to come together as a people with each other. And then letting Tariq Nasheed be a part of that. It's not just one man, not just send money to one man like that. Even though that's ideal, like to keep the check and balances, but I think more as a group, as a whole, that would be better to do if that was possible. If that was possible. If that was possible. Okay, with that said, let me get out of here. Always remember true love, real peace, and the higher self within you. Till next time, people. Peace.